This is Super Yacht News with Sysman. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Big news day today. Going to get straight into it. So motor yacht Crescent, a vessel that I talked about pretty recently in a video entitled Is This Putin's Super Yacht, has been arrested in Spain. So the vessel is in Tarragona in Spain, which is near Barcelona, and the vessel's been there for quite a while actually. It's been there since the 2nd of November last year, and yeah, it was arrested today by Spanish authorities. This is a couple of days after the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said that more vessels will be arrested after those. There was a rash of vessels yesterday or a couple of days ago that got arrested, and he said more was to come, and this is obviously one of those. Now, the vessel is 135 meters in length, or 444 feet. It was delivered by Lursen in 2018, and it's 9,200 gross tons. So it is a big yacht. It's one of the biggest yachts in the world. She actually requested to leave on the 4th of March, but she never did, and we don't know why that is. But it's possible that they never received clearance to leave. The vessel has been linked to Vladimir Putin himself via his right-hand man, Igor Sechin, who's known as the de facto deputy in Russia. He was Putin appointed him as the chairman of the Russian state oil company Rosneft in 2004. So the super yacht was detained. It wasn't an arrest like Dilbar was arrested. So Dilbar was arrested because they connected it with Alisher Usmanov, and they arrested it for that reason. This has been arrested for the opposite reason, because they've been unable to determine who actually owns this vessel. So they've arrested it until the vessel can provide evidence that shows that it is not owned by Igor Sechin, because he's being sanctioned by the EU, or whoever is on the list, that can be proved that he actually does own it, and that he's not already sanctioned as well. But a source in the Spanish police say it's Igor Sechin's yacht, according to Reuters. And a spokeswoman for the Tarragona marina where the vessel is, she told Reuters that Crescent was registered in the name of a non-Russian company, but she declined to say the name of that company. The classification society for Crescent is the DMV, which is pulling certificates for all vessels that are owned or are the beneficial owner of Russians. So Crescent has a sister ship, which I mentioned in my video a few days ago. I'll put a link up here. Is This Putin's Super Yacht? Now, these two vessels are very closely linked, and probably they'll find that both vessels are linked to the same people. Although on paper maybe they have different names, but they're all linked back to Igor Sechin. So when Crescent was in build, it was called Project Thunder, which I mentioned in the previous video, and it's a sister ship to Scheherazade. So Scheherazade was Project Lightning, Crescent was Project Thunder, Thunder and Lightning. They were built a few years apart, so I think it was 2 years difference between the first one starting the build and the second one. They have very similar designs. If you get a picture up of each, they're very similar. The way the funnels are and the way the VSATs are and stuff like that. A lot of the design features are similar. Obviously, one is painted black and one is painted white. Another thing that they share is the very secretive behavior by the management companies and by the captains and stuff like that. And in actual fact, that the AIS was switched on as the vessel approached the marina in Tarragona. Now, this is not normal practice. Switching off AIS as you enter a port, that's not something that boats generally do. So ordinarily, you never switch off AIS, you just leave it on. It's a thing that runs in the background, it's always got power, it's just on all the time, and it's broadcasting, and that's it, and people just leave them alone. But these vessels are switching them off purposely. I mean, even before they got to the destination, they switched off, which you're not supposed to do, but it's not about the fact that you're not supposed to do it, it's about the fact that it's very strange behavior for a vessel to do that. So going back to the secrecy, so I spoke to somebody contacted me who had an interview on Project Lightning, which is the sister ship to Crescent. And this goes back to what I was saying about the secrecy. And I'll just read out what he told me. He said, I spoke to the build captain during the build. I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement before entering the vessel to talk to him. And after the interview, the captain told me that he really liked that I did not reveal my previous owners when he asked who I'd worked for. And the captain then told me that there is the same situation with Lightning. And the captain said the owner is very confidential and goes as high up as you can get. Okay guys, so in other news, doing some catch up with some of the vessels we've been tracking. So MotorYacht Nord, if you'll remember MotorYacht Nord, 141 meter vessel. It's owned by Victor Mordashov, who's been on the sanctions list. The vessel was in the Seychelles, which is in the East Africa region of the Indian Ocean. And the vessel is, I believe the vessel is heading to Vladivostok in Russia. And the vessel is heading east now. It's passed through the Maldives and it looks like it's heading to the Straits of Malacca. So what I just wanted to do, this is for the crew of Nord and Amadea, because I believe Amadea is heading to the same place. So this is a weather check for Vladivostok. So the weather in Vladivostok tomorrow is a high of 0 degrees and a low of minus 16 degrees. So that's something to look forward to. As speaking of MotorYacht Amadea, Amadea has been heading west, southwest from the Caribbean down to Panama. They have arrived at the Panama Canal now, and they're waiting for their transit spot. So I don't know whether you know, but with the Panama Canal, obviously you've got a very small narrow canal, and then you've got a lot of boats waiting to go through in both directions. When you get there, you don't just go straight in. You have to wait for your slot. There's a bottleneck on both sides. So they're sat there waiting now. And I do suspect that they're most likely that they'll switch off the AIS when they get on the other side. In other news, MotorYacht A. So you remember a few days ago, Sailing Yacht A was arrested in Trieste in Italy while it was in dry dock. The vessel then was subsequently deregistered by the Isle of Man flag state. So they basically said, you no longer fly our flag, you've been deregistered. Now MotorYacht A, Andrei Melnichenko's other boat, the one that he had built in 2008, it looks like a submarine or a spaceship. That vessel was also registered in the Isle of Man. In a previous video I said it was UK registered, but it turns out it also had an Isle of Man registration. I got a photograph sent to me from about 4 weeks ago that shows the Isle of Man registration. Now back in the day it had a Hamilton written on the back, and it was from Bermuda, right? So for some reason Melnichenko changed the registration of both boats from Bermuda to the Isle of Man. So the vessel was last tracked on AIS in the Maldives 6 days ago, and then they switched off the AIS, and I've been contacted today by a few people to say that it's being seen in the Gulf of Oman area around Dubai or around Oman, and it's an unconfirmed report that they were denied fuel. They went in there to try to bunker, and they were denied bunkering, they denied any fuel. I haven't been able to confirm this, but that's the report that I got. I also heard that they're also possibly looking to re-register the vessel out in that area. I don't know who they would register with out there, but they're looking to do that. Now it's quite possible, I don't know this yet, but it makes sense that if they've deregistered Sailing Yacht A, then they possibly deregistered MotorYacht A as well. So it would be very difficult for a vessel to even dock in a port without, because when, like I said in another video, when you dock in a port, you have to show your registration certificates and your insurance and all that stuff. So they might have even been denied docking for those reasons. All right, guys, in other news, the newest vessel in the Imperial fleet has arrived in Monaco today. It doesn't look like there's too much outdoor space on this vessel. All right, guys, and lastly, thanks very much for the footage. Some of the footage you've been watching here is from Gibraltar Yachting Channel. It's a YouTube channel. You've got some great footage on there. Be sure to check him out and subscribe to his channel. If you want to see the full videos of these boats coming in and out, he's in a great position there, because you have boats leaving for the Caribbean at one time of the year and then coming back to the Med, and he's always there to film them. So check out his channel and subscribe and tell him I sent you. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If you've got any information about any yachts, be sure to contact me through Instagram or through the About page of the YouTube channel. All All right, guys, thanks very much, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.